This month, the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, along with 4 partners, announced a brand new program. It'll provide opportunities for business training and access to funding for Louisiana entrepreneurs in the arts. The Catapult Fund, as it's called, is already seeking applications from arts and culture-based businesses in our state. And joining us this morning to talk all about this is the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation's Scott Ages. Good morning and welcome.
Thanks for having me.
This is a wonderful program, and I think a lot of people don't realize that the foundation does a lot more than just Jazz Fest.
That's true. So, as you know, the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit that owns the Jazz Fest and has since the beginning 45 years ago. The foundation was created to be the custodian of the money that was produced by the festival, and its role is to plow that money back into the community with programs all year long in the areas of education, economic development, and cultural enrichment. So we don't produce the festival. That's done by Quint Davis and his incredible team at Festival Productions Incorporated. They've been producing the festival since 1970. Our role is to take the money and spread it around the community for good stuff.
And all sorts of good stuff comes out of that money. And this is really an interesting program, in part because it's based on businesses and not nonprofits.
That's correct.
Different.
Well, so as part of our economic development portfolio, we have a very robust grants program. It's called Community Partnership Grants. And coincidentally, that program is up and running currently as well. We're currently seeking applications for grants. We give out about $500,000 a year in grant funding to nonprofits and educational institutions and those types of things. But we also have a history of being active in supporting entrepreneurs and business enterprises. But it's something that we had basically let lapse for a little while after Katrina because there were more important priorities. Now we're back and we really want to focus on that. And the cultural industries as a whole, the entertainment industry if you like, we all recognize that we've got tons of creators, we've got wonderful artists, but for a long time we've known that we lack some of the essential backbone of the infrastructure, we sometimes say, of the entertainment industry, the managers, the agents, the other professionals in the industry who help bring the artists to the marketplace. And without those kinds of things, our cultural industries are never really going to be fully sustaining. So we want to support those folks that are out there trying to do it for a living, to make money from it, because those businesses, if they grow, they will help grow the entertainment industry as a whole.
And boy, is that something we've seen with Hollywood South down here, the TV and movie industry. More and more businesses are popping up. They're providing so many jobs for people, and we're seeing more movies come down as a result of that. Now, this is interesting because we think of the Jazz and Heritage Foundation as just music primarily. At least I know I do. That's the big focus. But with this program, you're looking at the arts across the board.
Well, I mean, it's easy to think that jazz is in our name, and we like it that way, so it's great. But with our grants program, as with this program, the Catapult Fund, we do support people operating in all disciplines of the arts. So for the Catapult Fund specifically, if you're in the film industry or fashion, design, media arts, culinary arts, pretty much any arts discipline that you can think of, that would qualify for an application for the Catapult Fund.
Okay, and the requirements are fairly simple. They have to have been in business a year, and they have to be considered a small business.
Which for us means less than $500,000 in gross annual revenue. So we're looking for folks that are kind of just getting going, but not somebody who just came up with an idea yesterday because they found out Jazz Fest is giving away money. We want somebody that's got a little bit of skin in the game. And ideally, somebody who has truly analyzed the marketplace and said, this is what's missing. This is a gap. I can step into that gap, fill it, and make money doing it. And by doing that, they are really materially adding to the overall sustainability of our cultural industry. So somebody that has said, this is what's missing, I can do that, and I'm the person to do it. So they've already started, they're in there for at least a year, they're working at it, but they realize that they're lacking some essential skills. They need some help learning bookkeeping and accounting, finance and access to capital, human resources, insurance, risk management, marketing, social media, all those kinds of things that all of us need to know more about if we're business owners.
And obviously that could include so many different types of businesses, but what's an example of one type of business maybe that you could see applying for this?
Well, I try not to call out too many specifics because we don't want to play any favorites, but there is one example that I think of. There's some folks that we know who have started a rehearsal facility specifically for theatrical productions. Who would have thought? But these folks have recognized, because of their experience and their knowledge of the industry, that in the past 5 years, we've had an explosion in the number of theater companies, groups that are putting on theatrical productions and doing incredible work and selling out shows and doing incredible things. But there are very, very, very few, if any, places for them to rehearse their productions. And often they're relegated to working in school cafeterias and that types of things in order to rehearse. So some folks have created a facility that is designed specifically for theatrical production. That's an example of somebody who has looked at the marketplace, has seen where there's an opening, realized that they have the skills and the knowledge to be able to fill that niche and to make money doing it. So that's a kind of example, but there are a lot of others that I can think of.
Yeah, as you pointed out, there's so many others. We don't want to limit people.
But not necessarily somebody who is, I mean, we're welcoming people who are starting businesses, but not somebody necessarily who is recreating the wheel. If somebody said, I want to open a restaurant, we would probably say, well, you know, we have a few restaurants already.
We have a couple.
So that's the idea.
All right, great. Now, if people are interested in this, if they're listening right now at home going, wait a minute, I think my business might qualify, what do they need to do?
Go to the website, catapultfund.com, and there's a fairly simple online application. And the application really focuses on these particular questions. What is your big idea? What is it that you are doing that you think fills a gap? And who are your competitors? If you can analyze the marketplace enough to be able to answer those questions, you should be okay.
Okay, sounds good. Well, best of luck to you. Best of luck to all these businesses that will be applying. Hopefully you guys will see some really neat businesses kind of popping up and growing as a result of this.
Stay tuned, because toward the end of the year we'll be announcing who the finalists are and who the folks are who have been through the training program, and then we'll then end up with some money that we'll be giving away as well.
All right, Scott, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And for more information regarding the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation and the Catapult Fund, you can log on to our website, WGNO.com/the411.